Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the top 10 best power forwards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM, and I'm ranking this list including gambling-only cards. So, unfortunately, I feel like the big men spots are the ones most affected right now by all this gambling-only content because there aren't as many good free options that are available to counteract all these gambling cards at the big man spots. So, the big man spots are definitely a little bit weaker on this list, or they're definitely stronger when it comes to gambling-only cards that are on this list versus the non-gambling cards from like yesterday's list. But before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Help me push towards the 25,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. Tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. So we're going to start off at number 10. I'm going with Jokić. I'm not unbelievably high on Jokić as an Opal overall. I think he's a good card, no doubt. I think he's a very good card, but I think number 10 is probably, I will say this is a very deep list, so definitely keep that in mind. But 6'11", 7'3" wingspan, really versatile card statistically. He's got good speed. He's a versatile defender, pretty solid defender, has half a movable enforcer. I mean, better defender than people, than I would have expected. Completeness-wise, badge-wise, he's very good. I mean, he's a very, very solid card, no doubt about it. Does a lot of things well. Release is on very quick. I still don't think it's that great of a release, but pro dribble style is nice. PG escape isn't great. Sigs aren't top tier or anything, but the Jokić card is very good. I just think there's a bajillion really good power forwards, as y'all will see. So for example, like Galaxy Opal Giannis is at number 9. This position with gambling cards is like so stacked. I don't know why, but they have really stacked out the power forward position. And like Giannis's main flaw is that his release just is not that great. Not like that's the only real flaw. Release is not that great, not elite level shooting stats or badges. That's pretty much the flaw. Because defensively, he's one of the most impactful, better cards in the game. Finishing-wise, same thing. Honestly, I'm probably putting him like a couple spots low. But again, this just goes to show the depth of the power forward position right now and how many phenomenal, like, gambling-only cards there are at this position. And yeah, Giannis is another great option. This list really reminded me how many gambling-only cards they've dropped. Like Karl-Anthony Towns, for example. Galaxy Opal. I don't even have 100 overalls on this list, by the way. So Kareem, Dirk, KG, Shaq, none of those guys are on this list either. So there you go, more gambling only cards. But Karl-Anthony Towns is who I have at number 8. The thing that I like about Cat is that he is an elite level shooter at a level that a guy like Giannis just isn't. He doesn't quite have the playmaking ability of a Giannis, obviously, but he's still a capable playmaker. Pretty versatile defender still. Really athletic, does have half a movable, which is a big badge. And then really, really good shooter. 99 3-ball, obviously. Cat was in the 3-point contest and was very good. And overall is a very, very good card. I don't love his release even on quick. I just don't think it's that great, but that's about the only flaw. And I don't think it's a huge flaw because he is such a good shooter, and I don't hate the release by any means either. I think number 8 is actually pretty fair. Number 7 is Wilt. Wilt would be higher at center, but for me, his release not being great again at power forward is something that's just like, there's guys I like more. You know what I mean? Hitchy release, 76 3-ball, not great shooting badges as a base card. Obviously, you could add Agent 3 blinders, catch and shoot, limitless, that type of stuff to boost him up. Not to mention adding a badge like handles for days is probably pretty important. But super duper athletic, one of the faster cards in the game, one of the biggest power forwards in the game for sure at 7'1" with an 8-foot wingspan as well, which is very valuable. I just don't love the release, even on very quick. It's just not that great, kind of ugly. It's smooth enough and easy enough to green, to be honest. Definitely better than a guy like Shaq's release anyway, but certainly not a great release still, and it is, again, the only thing that really holds him back. But when you get into the top 6, you start to get to some like ridiculously good cards. Like Myles Turner, really, really nice release, really versatile, big defender. He gives you very similar defensive and athletic versatility, maybe not quite as fast as those guys, but pretty similar to guys like Wilt and Giannis in terms of the athleticism and defense, but then he is a phenomenal shooter with a very nice release. Now, the one thing that Myles Turner is kind of lacking is playmaking. He needs playmaking badges, but I just don't think that's as important as being an elite level shooter, at least for my play style. For other people, they would disagree, and that's fine. Other people would have guys like Wilt and Giannis over Myles Turner, but for me, the elite pick and pop big that he is very, very valuable. Really nice release. Still a very versatile defender and a great athlete, and if you add some playmaking badges to him, he's still going to be a very capable playmaker as well. So I think Myles Turner is a really good card, and I think number 6 is a pretty fair spot for him. Now, number 5, going to go Moses Malone. It is nice that there are a couple of free earnable cards on this list, Moses being one of them. Really, really nice, free big, 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan. Not unbelievably tall or anything, but definitely big enough. Incredible finisher and an absolutely elite level top tier defender. Shooting and playmaking wise, he is not like unbelievably next level elite, but he is a very capable playmaker. He's very fast, and shooting wise, he's a much better shooter with a much smoother, easier release in my opinion than a guy like Wilt. Kobe dribble style as well. He has actually good 6. Kobe escape. Like, he dribbles pretty darn nicely, and he has an easy fade as well. So I like Moses Malone. I think he's very good. I think with some shooting badge upgrades, he's actually a really, really nice shooter as well. I just think he gives you a little bit more all the way around, especially as a shooter, than guys like, again, Wilt and Giannis do. So even though he's a little smaller than them, I actually probably would take him over those guys. At least, I don't know. It's close, but for me, release matters a lot, and I actually like Moses' release a good bit. Alperen Sengun is at number 4 to me. Alpi has top tier SIGs, which really, really helps him out a lot because obviously he's great stat and badge wise. Really, really good card. Very athletic, great shooter, catch and shoot corner specialist, limitless range on Hoff. Great playmaking badges as well, and then really good defense. Obviously, he's got anchor, interceptor, immovable enforcer, post lockdown, rebound chaser, rights to gripper. The playmaking is what separates him though. 91 speed, pretty good slasher. He has a really nice behind the back, hardened behind the back, John Wall's drag back, Kobe dribble style, CP escape. Good SIGs across the board. Normal fade as well, and a release that is on very quick and very nice. Really, really good all around animations, and that makes him a really, really good card. Does a lot of things really, really well in the court, and honestly, I don't know. I think he's a very, very good card. He does a ton of things really well at the power forward position. And yes, he is, in my opinion, honestly better than some of the best gambling only guys that you can get. But there are 3 gambling only cards that to me are kind of above the rest of the power forward position right now. And I just looked up Boogie, but it's DeMarcus Cousins at number 3. The one thing that DeMarcus doesn't have, the 2 guys above him have a little bit more of, is size. At only 6'10", I say only. He's not gigantic, but he's got a 7'5" wingspan. Hotspots from literally everywhere, basically. Finishing, shooting, and defense is all very, very good. His playmaking is top tier as well, though. Good badges, yes, but especially great SIGs. Good speed, good shooter, great dunker. Not quite as good defensively as some of the guys lower than him, but again, if you got good stick skill, he's got a good enough badges. I mean, he's still going to be a great defender. But the movement is tough. MJ dribble style, elite behind the back. Steph drag back is a top tier drag back as well. He's got really, really good animations. Again, he's a great, versatile playmaker at the power forward position. Big time mismatch. Really, really good card. Number 3 on the list, and I think another super, super solid option. So big, big fan of him at number 3. Number 2, though, I do believe these 2 guys are a little above the pack. Hakeem at number 2 is basically Wilt with an elite release. It's kind of what he reminds me of. I understand the wingspan isn't quite as long, but he's got a massive, wide player build. He's an amazing dunker. He's a very capable playmaker, like Hoff speed booster, blow by. Really, really nice playmaker. Could use bailout handles for days added for sure. Definitely is worth adding those badges to him, but defensively, he's one of the best defenders in the game. He's got unbelievable all-around defensive stats. He's very fast. His player build is massive, and his release is absolutely money. I much prefer his release to guys like Wilt and Giannis. It's a much quicker, smoother release, not to mention him just having much better shooting badges than guys like that as a base card. I think his overall completeness in terms of his defense and his size as well, though, combined with the playmaking and the shooting, is what makes him so good, and to me makes him a top 2 option. Number 1 to me is probably still David Robinson. I will say Hakeem's release might even be a little bit quicker than D-Rob's, but they're about the same. They're both very smooth, very good releases. D-Rob is also an incredibly versatile card who can put the ball on the floor at a very high level, defend at a super high level, a 7'1" big, 7'5" wingspan, massive, massive power forward. Really, really good all-around card. Pro dribble style is nice. Gives you a good push cross there. Really smooth release. Fade isn't bad. D-Rob's amazing, and he is my favorite personal power forward in the game. I think you could definitely make an argument for Hakeem. Honestly, this list could be very different depending on what you're looking for at the power forward position. But to me, it's the playmaking and the versatility while still being a great defender. And guys like D-Rob, Hakeem, Boogie, and Alperen Sengun are the best in the game at those things and being complete in those areas, basically. So I really like these cards. I think the power forward position is super stacked, but unfortunately it is a lot of gambling only cards, which isn't ideal. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for the video. So I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.